You know, it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day price charts, right? But today, we're going to look past all that. We're diving deep into what's really happening, the actual tangible growth inside the Cardano universe. So what's actually being built? Let's get into it.
And that really is the big question for us today. I mean, beyond all the price swings, what's going on at the ground level? What are developers actually building? And what are people using on Cardano? That's exactly what we're here to unpack.
And it turns out there's a whole lot going on, a whole universe of activity, really. So we've taken a snapshot of some of the most interesting stuff happening, from the core financial engine of the ecosystem to projects that are connecting it to our everyday lives. So first up, let's look at what's powering the whole thing. Okay, so every healthy blockchain ecosystem needs a really strong financial core. And on Cardano, DeFi's driving that. These protocols are creating some serious on-chain activity and pulling in liquidity. So let's zoom in on a couple of key players that are really making waves. To give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, check this out. In one recent 24-hour period, a single protocol was responsible for 68% of the entire protocol volume on Cardano. Wow. That protocol is Strike Finance, and a number that dominant tells you something big is happening. So what's the story behind this huge surge?
Well, it looks like the catalyst was the rollout of some pretty powerful new features. The platform just introduced some high-leverage trading options. We're talking up to 30x on ADA and 20x on the meme coin SNCC. Now, when you pair that kind of leverage with a discount on fees, you've basically created a magnet for traders, which definitely helps explain that massive volume. But it's not all just about short-term trading volume. Other protocols are really focused on bringing in long-term value. Take Fluid Tokens, for example. They've set this super ambitious goal to nearly double the capital locked in their platform, from just under 3 million ADA all the way up to 5 million. A growth target that aggressive? Well, it signals some real confidence.
So how are they going to attract all that new capital? Well, they've got this really innovative new staking mechanism. So you stake their native FLDT token and you earn rewards paid out in ADA from the protocol's fees. Pretty standard, right? But here's the cool part. You also earn rewards in Bitcoin, which comes from the platform's Bitcoin side fees. Earning a yield in both ADA and BTC from a single Cardano protocol, that's a genuinely new and powerful incentive. All right, so a thriving financial layer is absolutely critical, but for any ecosystem to have a real lasting impact, it has to connect to our daily lives. So now we're going to shift our focus outwards to projects that are building those bridges between the blockchain and real-world use cases. World Mobile is a fantastic example of this. They made a huge splash at the recent Korea Blockchain Week. Their leadership wasn't just there to network, they were on center stage delivering keynotes on AI and DePIN. And if you're not familiar, DePIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. It's about using blockchain to build real-world systems like telecom networks. This is all about positioning Cardano as a serious hub for global innovation. And this quote from their team just says it all. The mission to connect the world is global. This really hammers home the scale of what they're trying to do. They're not just building another app. They're tackling one of the planet's biggest challenges, connectivity. And they're taking that message to the world stage. Next up, let's talk data storage. We've got Nuvola Drive, which is a decentralized alternative to services like Dropbox or Google Drive. They're just about to kick off the phased rollout of their closed beta, giving the first users a peek. It's going to start with the web app within the next week, and then the Android and iOS apps will follow soon after. The team's been super clear that this is an early version, and right now they have one main goal: get user feedback. This isn't just about finding bugs, it's about letting the community actually co-create the final product by helping them fine-tune the user experience from the very beginning. Okay, so we've seen finance and we've seen real-world applications. For our last section, we're going to look at the bedrock, the foundational stuff that's going to support this ecosystem for years. We're talking new projects, actual hardware, and the democratic process that lets the community decide what comes next. First, new projects are popping up all the time, like this upcoming presale for Surge. With the token price of just 0.167 ADA and a starting market cap of 3.3 million ADA, it's a fresh opportunity for people to get involved. And with the launch happening in just 24 hours, it just adds to that constant buzz in the ecosystem. And look, growth isn't just about software. It's also about physical hardware. Banker Labs is a great example. They recently sold out their entire latest batch of miners and are already ordering more powerful models. Right now, they have 39 Hydro miners actively hashing away, securing a partner network. This isn't just code. This is real machinery making the whole ecosystem stronger. And finally, let's talk about who gets to decide what gets built next. That's where governance comes in. Voting is officially live for Project Catalyst, which is Cardano's decentralized treasury. This is really the ultimate form of community empowerment. It lets ADA holders directly fund the projects they want to see succeed, literally shaping the future of the ecosystem with every single vote.
So let's pull all this together for a second. We've seen a snapshot of a really dynamic financial engine with protocols like Strike and Fluid. We've seen real-world applications starting to take shape with World Mobile and Nuvola Drive. And we've seen that foundational layer getting stronger with new projects, new hardware, and true community governance.
And this brings us to our final forward-looking thought. With all these different areas, finance, infrastructure, real-world apps, all growing at the same time, where is that next big breakthrough going to come from? Is it going to be a financial innovation, a killer real-world application, or something else entirely? That's the big question to keep in mind as this whole universe keeps expanding.